Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome to Football Manager 2022, and this is the start of my Let's Play series, and this is my challenge one, Youth Factory FC. What we're going to be doing with this challenge is I have placed Youth Factory this time not in England where we've done in the years past, down in the 10th division there. No, we're down in the 10th division, technically Division 9 by title, but it's the 10th tier down in Norway. Yes, we are in Norway this time, and that is because we are combining two challenges. My typical Youth Factory one, I'll get back to that in a second for those who haven't seen my previous versions of this series. We are taking the dynamic youth rankings that have now been introduced brand new to Football Manager 2022. What that does is, as far as how your league performs at a European level, whether it's the European Championships of some type or whatever your regional top competition is, Champions League obviously, or Europa League are the top competitions in Europe. It takes how you perform, your top clubs, and it impacts the level of youth development that you're going to get. Youth ranking rises or falls depending on how those teams perform. So what we are going to do is we're taking a team down all the way in the 10th tier, and we're going to try to get them up through those 10 tiers, and then we want to impact, after we get to that highest division, we want to impact the youth rankings, and we want to bring those up to a much higher level. And even though, yes, Erling Haaland might be Norwegian, he's a once-in-a-generation talent. Norway is not known for having a high development rate among its youth players, though it is a very important sport in the nation, and there's plenty of players who come out and play. Hence, there's a league that goes down 10 divisions. In fact, there's only two smaller divisions way down in this 10th tier, and we're going to be starting up in a division that has just 8 teams, pretty much all located within Oslo, so just a local regional league, and then we're going to try to climb our way up, claw our way to ultimately, raise that youth rank. Now, the Youth Factory portion of this, I have made a couple changes to what I've done in the past couple of years regarding this setup, this series. But the Youth Factory team is going to be bottomed out in every possible way. This is the worst team you can imagine. Their current ability, 1. Everybody on the team has a current ability of 1. Our training facilities are going to be a 1. That's one of the changes. Our reputation, 1. Our budget, nothing. So starting out in this first season, we are bound to get absolutely pummeled, even down here at this level. We have one advantage, one takeaway that's going to help this team build. And I've reinforced it and nerfed it at the same time. I've nerfed it in that the training facilities, the corporate facilities, they're non-existent. The club reputation non-existent, right? That's all there. But what we do have is we have a 20 out of 20 for all of the youth categories, our youth coaching, our youth rating, our youth facilities. Those are maxed out. And the result of that is we're going to get really good youth players coming in. And we're going to need them because we have a transfer ban going from right now all the way until the year 2100. So we are under transfer ban for the next 80 years. This is going to be entirely a internal youth development setup. Now, one subtle change that I'm making from previous years to this year in this series is as soon as I get those players coming in, as soon as they become eligible to get a contract, a permanent contract as an adult, I don't know what the national rules are for Norway, but let's say it's 17, the day they turn 17, they will be signed not only to a permanent contract at a reasonable salary, but they will be signed to a 20-year deal, in which case at the end of 20 years, they will be transferred out of the club, meaning they're going to be locked in. Others will not be able to come in and swoop players away from me. I will actually get the chance to develop our players in-house without losing them. How well will they develop when our facilities are non-existent right now, other than the youth ones? Again, I've added to it and I've taken away from it, and we'll see how it plays out this one. In the past, I have stalled out in either the 6th or 5th division in England because I kept losing players. We're not going to lose players this time around. I have a feeling we'll keep pushing up. And where Norway hits the professional ranks, where you go from amateur to semi-pro to professional, I don't know where that happens along this tree. I'm guessing somewhere around the 3rd division, not down around the 5th or 6th. We could be climbing for quite a few years before we stall out. But the first year, I'm guessing we're probably not going anywhere. I'm guessing we're going to have 0 points by the time of our very first youth intake. After the first youth intake, we'll see if that group is capable of scoring some points right off the bat. Are they going to be that good? I don't know. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get in and see what it is we're working with here at Youth Factory FC. This is what I mean by the worst team ever. Looking at each player on the roster, they are all straight ones across the board. Current ability set to 1. Now, here's the thing about a current ability that is set to 1. No human is actually this bad. A newborn baby. Okay, maybe a newborn baby, but the moment they learn how to crawl, they've developed some amount of skill beyond straight ones. And so a current ability of 1 is something along the lines of 5s and 6s in terms of ratings. So within a matter of days, we will see the roster jump. We're going to see the roster jump to those 5s or 6s as everybody's on that current ability of 1. But at least at the moment, it's 1s across the board for every player. Even if they jump to that 5 or 6, that's still terrible. It's still beyond terrible. It's still going to be the worst team. So we are going to be entirely dependent on the players coming through the system. Now, that's not to say that these guys do not have some amount of potential, but when your determination is so incredibly low, the likelihood of them to actually develop and become the players that they could potentially become is extremely unlikely. So most of these players, this first crop, is going to stall out. You can see here, current ability 1, and I do have it revealed on what their potential ability is. That's something I do within this series, just so I know what I'm working with. Now, the only tournament that we're going to be involved in is the 10th tier, the 9th division. And our division, even with our addition to the league, only has 8 teams. And everybody plays each other twice. So we have a 14-match season. Our first year is going to come and go quite quickly. I would imagine that also means our second year is going to come and go quite quickly because theoretically, until we get an intake, we are going to be dead last, losing by 4, 5, 6 goals every single match, theoretically. Also, what you're getting a lot of at this tier, the 2s and 3s, the A's, after these squads, these are the 2nd and 3rd squads for a club. So they do allow junior teams within a club. The A's are the amateur versions. Oldenburg has their 3 squad and their amateur squad down here. You would figure their 3 squad should be better than their amateur squad, but you never know. Game's being a little odd this year when it comes to the cash and bringing in photos and jerseys and team logos and whatnot. It hasn't wanted to load my stuff in as of yet. I will continue to mess around with it, and at some point I'm expecting that we will have those in for this series. For now, we have some placeholders. We have the jerseys that we'll be playing with. It's all good. We have a stadium, proving grounds, with a capacity of 100. Our average season ticket price, remember there's only 7 home games, is $4. The average ticket price is $1. The players aren't earning any money. I'm not earning any money. We're not bringing in anything. So actually, there's a lot of inherent danger with trying to make this work financially because, again, the training facilities are starting at a level 1. We've got to bring that up fast. I don't know how we're going to make any money, so to do so, I've added to the challenge a little bit when you take those finances into account. Now, in the editor, here's a few of those key details for confirmation. We have a reputation of 1 out of 10,000. We are the minimum. And that makes perfect sense because we are brand new. We just formed as a club. Facilities. Again, we have just a 100, but this is the key part. Training facilities, a 1. Youth facilities, junior coaching, and youth recruitment maxed out at their highest, which is a 20, and then the corporate facilities, a 1. So making money won't be easy. The players, even if they're good, they won't be necessarily expensive though. So that's a good thing. How well can we develop players when we have certain limitations? So I'm looking forward to that part of the challenge, because in the past that was straight 20s all the way, all 5 categories. And before we get in and see this team in action, all of its ugly glory, there's a few more things that I want to cover. First off, the manager. Right, what are we working with here? Well, I have a National A license, which is relevant to this league, this level, but a Sunday League player. So I don't have a lot of attribute points to apply, but I've applied them in 2 key areas as best I could, and then filled out a couple other things. So first off, working with youngsters, obviously a necessary skill when this club and what we're doing here. So 17 there, defending 6, tactical 4, so that I can at least eventually start coaching something effectively. By the way, I'm the only staff member right now, so they are stuck with me. Good luck to getting any development on the training pitch. Mental skills though, 20 in determination. The adaptability is super slow, so I'm going to adapt to Norway quite slowly. I have no other jobs to adapt to, so it's all good. It's fine. It'll happen. It'll come. The player knowledge doesn't matter at all in this playthrough, as I'm literally doing no scouting, no signing of any other players. It's all happening internally. And that means the discipline, management, and motivating are the only other ones that are relevant. And I was able to put a few points in, which gives me 7 for people management. Wow, set to unfireable. This is truly an experiment that it doesn't matter how bad we lose in this first season, or future seasons for that matter, we will get the opportunity to develop and grow the team. We are attached directly to this team, and we will be sticking with them for the duration. While finances are non-existent, we have $140 US, and that's it. We're not bringing much money at all in. While that all plays out, it is what it is. The last piece here before we begin play is I desperately need your help. As a huge fan of the sport and a huge fan of the game, and I've been playing it for many, many years, this is my personal favorite series that I get to do on the channel, that I have the privilege to do on the channel. Unfortunately for me, though, I still require an audience, and I still have a small channel. And without your help, without your scrolling down and clicking that like button real quick, without a comment, the algorithm is never going to pick this up. And then it's just existing subscribers. And there are a fair few, and I will get a decent audience. But in the first 3 episodes, if you don't take a moment, comment, and click that like button, this series has very little chance of getting any exposure. Football Manager is a huge title, and there are tons of very good content creators out there. There's some excellent ones. If you've never seen Zealand, I would recommend seeing Zealand. I have no problem plugging them. I have no problem that you want to watch them. I just hope that if you like this and you like this experiment, because as far as I know, I'm the only one doing something quite like this, do please like and comment so that this has a chance, and so that I have the chance of doing this for a long time coming. Because in the past, this series would have continued and continued and continued, but the audience numbers were just never quite there. Let's play. Let's see how bad this team is starting out. And we're on to the season opener. I've seen the preseason. I know what we're up against, but here's looking at you, kid. As in, yeah, you're going to get to see it for yourself. We're not going to be watching a whole lot of games. In this first season, we are going to be kind of moving straight on our way to future hopeful prospects. At the moment, though, hanging in there. 80% of possession through 20 minutes. We are keeping the ball really well. By the way, we are 450 to 1 odds to win this game. We got a 1 in 450 chance. It could happen. So one thing I'm looking forward to is trying to get at least a small amount of development out of this squad, as we went really close to give it up an opener there just before halftime. We've nearly made it to halftime without giving anything up. And look at all those fans we've got in the away stands. How did that happen? Season opener, I guess. First time to see the club. First opportunity. And we have survived a half with literally 0 XG, no shot attempts, but a good amount of possession, keeping it away from them. They've had 9 shots already, but no notable highlights, as they've really only managed to get 1 on target, and therefore we are still in this thing. XG, half a goal for them. We've still got a chance. Second half begins. This is the kind of performance that this team is not capable of. I mean, this has been tremendous from them. They are up for this to start the season, but it's the other team really giving it away. I mean, we're playing well, but by our standards, but comparatively, they are just giving it away. They are playing poorly. It's like they're nervous to play the season while we're up for it. That could have been a chance right there. There is a chance, and there is a goal. Deli should have done better in goal on that one. He does get to it. He gets 2 hands to it, but he can't push it out. Can't fault the defense there. I mean, nothing wrong with the way we defended that, considering where we're at. That's just that combination of not enough quality in the side at all. But only trailing 1-0 coming up on the hour mark is a phenomenal showing, because this is a team that's going to lose by 4, 5, 6 goals through most games. And if they can hang on to this in a similar state, it would be good. Now, during the preseason, I tried to use the boost to determination and work rate by warning players for having subpar ratings. During preseason, it did nothing. I think that might have something to do with it being preseason. So we'll get a chance here. If Angel is on a 6.0, he's on an absolute stinker. So we'll bring on Alba, give him a chance to finish this game off. We still have 0 shot attempts. Only 3 fouls, though. Only 3 fouls, so that's good. And there it is, full time. We have actually gotten away with one here. Okay, no points. I know. I'm not thinking that we're going to be scoring very many points. Could this team get a draw? Sure. XG-wise, 0.89 is all we gave up. But that is not for the lack of trying. It's we had possession. They were at 23%. They didn't seem too interested in hanging onto the ball. They only got 3 out of 13 shots on target. So they just gave away. Well, okay. No points, but only a 1-goal loss to open the season is more than you can hope for, really. If you haven't learned this trick before, here's how this one goes. So I have last match rating set up in my custom view here. And in the last match rating, anybody who has a super low rating, 6.4 and below, I have 3 of them, you can go and criticize. You can warn them or fine them. They're not making any money, so there's nothing to that. But if I go in here and go to discuss and discipline player for poor performance and issue a warning, most of them are going to accept that. And you're occasionally, not always, but you're going to get a boost to their determination, which Engel is a 1, and their work rate potentially. Full points. I mean, it's significant boosts. It'll come the next day. So I'm going to go ahead and talk to all 3 of these, and let's see if there's any change. Again, determination 1, work rate 6. So all 3 of them have accepted the warning, but here's the thing. This is the key part, after the comma. So they admit the performance was poor, but he feels best players can't always be productive, and this is just something that you should learn to accept. Nothing. No progress made on that one. He brushed it off. What about this one? He apologized and admitted he deserved his warning. He said that he will try to motivate himself more for future matches. Rustin. Okay, we'll take a look at Rustin here in just a second. Also accepting his fine. Bendixson said that he will try to motivate himself more for future matches. So 2 out of 3, it has worked. 2 out of 3 has worked. So Bendixson and Rustin, Let's take a look at them now. Okay, if you look at Van Engel, no change. If we look at Rustin, determination was a 1, is now a 2. Work rate was a 6, is now a 7. This is one way to bring your players along. Through poor performances, you can push development. Okay, Bendixson did not gain in determination, but he does gain a point in work rate from a 6 to a 7. And there you have it. We are making the first ounce of progress with this team. But of course, this team, these players, current ability, still a 1 across the boards, except for V. Engel is now the first one to hit a current ability of 2. His stamina went up, it looks like, and that's been it. That is our entire development within the squad. So they're brilliant. They're absolutely not brilliant. They're quite poor. Training ratings, though, this is encouraging for me. Training ratings, a few players are progressing. That could lead to some development. But again, our training facilities are a 1. I am coaching all alone with this squad. I have no other staff currently. That combination just means, yeah, we're in trouble. Okay, well, that part's not good. But there's good science out there. And the good sign, of course, is that it's going to come down to the youth intake. That's when we're going to turn the corner. We're going to struggle a lot in this first season. That is our introduction, though, to this series, to our beginning stages. We're going to get probably all the way through season number 1, probably into season number 2 in our very next episode, because match by match by match right now with this squad isn't something we need to sit through. So I will be doing a lot of vacation time and letting things roll out as we push forward to a future season. But with so few matches in a season, at least at this lower division, I will participate at least a bit. All right, folks, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Remember that thing we talked about near the beginning of the episode about pushing that algorithm along. So please step up to do that if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.